KOAT Action 7 News. This is breaking news.
Hello, I'm Royal Day. That breaking news, 2 officers from APD shot this morning. This happened in the area of Wantabo and Constitution in the foothills. We're going to pull up a map now so you can see exactly where it happened. We're told this happened at a business in that area and started as an alleged robbery. So here's what we can tell you right now at this moment. 2 APD officers shot this morning. This happened around 9:30. Both were taken to UNMH. One is in serious condition. Drivers are urged to avoid the area. So APD is giving an update on this situation. Let's listen in right now to see what they have to say.
On this incident right now, I do want to let everyone know, and we want to keep repeating this, that we'll be putting out official information from APD's Twitter account, which is at ABQ Police. So please be on the lookout for that for any updates on this incident. And with that, I want to introduce Mayor Keller and then Chief Medina to give details.
Well, we are here at a horrible scene. Today, earlier this morning, 4 of our officers were shot or wounded in an incident that occurred on Wantabo. And I want to begin first and foremost by asking everyone in our city to join Liz and I in their prayers and thoughts for their families and these officers who are now at the hospital receiving care. I also want everyone to consider and pray for the doctors who are attending to them and of course their families. These officers put their lives at risk on every single call, and their families never want to get the calls they're getting today. They have been notified, the families of the officers who were involved, and right now we're going to be going to the hospital next. We'll have some details on their situation, but we're asking all our community to have their back, and every single officer who's out there in the metro area right now. Now, we also want to mention a couple of other aspects of this. This was a robbery that occurred. The situation went bad. That's when there were shots fired. We're going to be able to share a little bit of that. We also want to very much continue to catch the suspects. We have some in custody. We have another one that we're looking for. The chief's going to go into that. But that is why you see this as an active situation right now. We are asking the public to, unless you actually live in this area, anywhere between the freeway, Eubank, Tramway, and Indian School, just stay away for now, and let's let our law enforcement folks do their job. Now, we know that in our community, there obviously have been a lot of tragic incidents in general, and especially even over the last few weeks. But I want to emphasize, we haven't done the research, but to have 4 officers wounded in the line of duty is extraordinarily terrible. And it's something that we have to stand together as a community for our law enforcement folks and their families at this time. Now, I also know that this is an ongoing search, and we're grateful to have a lot of folks with us. So almost immediately, all the way from officers in Valencia County to Rio Rancho, state police, the FBI, ATF, ECSO, and Sandoval County, they're all involved in this. They're also helping take general calls throughout the city, as most of our officers initially were focused on trying to find the suspect. So I can assure everyone that the entire Albuquerque metro area is working as hard as they can to find this other suspect. We have shared some details in terms of a description, and I want to ask anyone to contact 242 COPS if they have personal knowledge or witness of the situation. Also, for the businesses in this area or individuals with their cell phones, please contact 242 COPS if you have video footage that might be relevant to this situation. We're also going to be sending out a link where you can just upload that on your own. And again, our first and foremost concern is for the officers and their families. And next, we've got to find the remaining outstanding subject. So let me hand it over to our Chief of Police, Harold Medina, with more details on this.
Good afternoon, everybody. Like the mayor stated, first and foremost, our concern is for our officers who are injured. Their officers who are injured, their families have been notified, and they have family members with them at the hospital. Second of all, we want to assure all the other families of officers who are on scene and haven't been able to reach out to their families, assure them that the officers who were injured, their families have been contacted and hopefully we could put the rest of the families of our officers a little bit at ease if they haven't been contacted. Like the mayor stated, we did have officers respond to a very serious call. As they arrived, we had one officer who sustained a gunshot wound to the upper chest. It was right above his vest. That officer is in critical condition and being tended to currently and is in the operating room at University Hospital. We had a second officer who sustained a gunshot wound to the arm. That officer is also currently in surgery. We had a third officer who took a gunshot wound to the center of his bulletproof vest. The vest did save that officer's life. I think that's the second time we've seen that in the metro area in the last month. We had a third officer who was injured either by shrapnel or glass and is also being tended to. Our biggest concern right now is the safety and the health of these officers. We ask the community to pray with us for our officers' health and that they all make it through this. We are currently looking for a second subject. We did have one subject on scene who sustained gunshot wounds. I do not have a condition of that suspect. We have a second suspect that we're actively looking for, and there are several others that are being detained that during the course of our investigation, we will be getting information to see what their involvement is and what possible charges we have. I want to thank the Metro Criminal Justice partners for their assistance today. It was within minutes. The Chief of Rio Rancho reached out and started units to assist us. Shortly afterwards, the Valencia County Sheriff offered assistance. The State Police Chief was en route. Our federal partners are here. The U.S. Attorney's Office is sending representation, so if we have federal charges, we could move in that direction. This is still a very active scene. We have several officers who are trying to locate this last individual. As soon as we have more information, it will be updated to our Twitter account, like our PIO Gilbert Gallegos stated. Myself and several are going to be going down to the hospital to check on these officers and see what more we could find out and what support we could lend to the families. This time, do we have anybody else?
As this ripples throughout our community, as this tragedy ripples throughout our community, we are fortunate to be standing together even today with our law enforcement partners. So I do want to thank, especially here with the FBI and our DA, and would you guys like to say anything else?
Just the only thing I would say is that it's important for members of the community to really reach out and try and support the Albuquerque Police Department. This is the most tragic and frankly the scariest thing that these families go through. This is what they worry about when officers put on the uniform every morning. And a lot of times we forget that there's a human being behind that badge, behind the uniform, and we can't forget that. I want to reiterate that we are going to be here for as long as it takes to help the Albuquerque Police Department to solve this crime. As the mayor indicated, a lot of times there is information that passersby may have had, other people in local businesses may have video, and so I know there are going to be officers canvassing this area, but if you saw anything, if you were in the area of the crime, please report that to 242 COPS. It's incredibly important that we get that information to these investigators as quickly as possible. That's what's going to enable these individuals to be apprehended and brought to justice. And so with that, I want to thank the mayor and the chief for their work.
You know, if I could just add in one last part, we have curtailed calls for service. We are only responding to emergency calls. State police or other agencies may be responding to citizens' needs, but we ask the community to please have patience with us over the next 48 hours as we get control of this situation, as we finish this investigation, and that we're going to be short resources. We've also brought in additional resources from our swing shifts, so our officers are going to be working long shifts to try to continue to ensure that we have service to the community while at the same time trying to process and secure this scene. Thank you.
Just real quick, so we mentioned the video. If anyone has any video of the incident or anything related to this, we did just set up a link that the public can access and upload video and send it directly to APD. So we're going to send that out via Twitter right after this news conference. We ask that you share that link. And I understand the publics who may have video, their desire to share that on social media, to share it with the media. We just hope that you share it with the police department first and get it to us as soon as we can so we can further our investigation. Thank you.
We also want to touch a little bit on the response from our emergency rescue, and we were fortunate to have, I think, a life-saving response from our fire rescue team. Tom, if you want to provide an update on that.
Thank you, Mayor. Lieutenant Tom Ruiz, Public Information Officer for Albuquerque Fire Rescue. So we were notified that there was an incident involving several patients up near Wantabo and Mountain. At that time, crews from Station 12 and Station 8, as well as several battalion chiefs and our 7-8 responded. Our Engine 12 initially arrived on scene, began to assess patients. Rescue 12 and Rescue 8 each transported one of the police officers, so there was 2 transported. They responded within minutes, and they were off scene within minutes. So our ability to respond to these critical incidents and take care of our partners at APD is something that we do. We're proud of our ability to be able to protect and care for the community, especially our partners at APD. Thank you to the mayor, and thank you to APD for our partnership with them. That's it. Thank you.
Gilbert?
Yeah. Any questions?
You mentioned that there's still one person. Is that the person you described earlier?
Yes, all black clothing.
How many were detained?
We don't have that exact information, how many people are detained. The last update I got is we had 4 additional people detained. We don't know if they were just witnesses or actively involved in the incident that officers responded to.
What was the original call?
The original call was a robbery to an individual.
Okay. Armed robbery?
I would suppose that it'd be armed given the fact that shots have been fired.
A robbery of a person or a business?
The information we have is as to an individual, but we still need to verify a lot of information.
Like where it was?
We believe it was at the Dutch Brothers Coffee.
Okay.
How is that individual doing? You know anything about that individual that person's robbed?
I have no information on the victim of the robbery, and we do not have a condition on the suspect that was suffered gunshot wound.
Can you clarify if 3 people were shot and the 4th person was hit by shrapnel and the last 4 people shot?
There were 3 officers shot, 2 that sustained actual gunshot wounds, 1 to the upper, above the chest, 1 to the arm, 1 that sustained it to the chest but the vest caught it, and the 4th one that was injured from either shrapnel or glasses.
So 4 officers total were injured?
4 officers total were injured.
Can you talk a little bit, you guys posted just yesterday about losing 2 officers yesterday, years back. How hard is it to have this happening right now?
It's a very emotional time. Obviously, the community knows that years ago we lost 2 officers on August 18th. I knew one of the officers very close, was very personally close to this individual. He actually built the wrought iron from a house. The loss of Mike King at the time shook the department. Richard Smith shook the department for years. And for this to happen the day after, it's just a reminder, as the mayor said, our officers put their life on the line every single day to help protect the community. And we need to remember that. And we need to be supportive of our officers at this time. And we need to do everything we can to make sure they have all the support they can from the entire criminal justice system. And that's why we're so happy that all of our partners are out here today supporting us.
And in what way are they supporting? We've seen, obviously, we have FBI here, we have Rio Rancho, we have state police, I mean, pretty much all metro agencies. What are they doing to help?
There's a variety of ways they're assisting us due to the fact that thankfully we've moved to a radio system where we can communicate with other agencies. And that's something that just recently happened. We're able to dispatch state police to assist us with calls for service within the community. Rio Rancho send officers that are also helping with calls for service. They may be helping with perimeter positions. Valencia County was sending investigators who could help our investigators. There's going to be a lot of people that need to be interviewed, and the quicker we could get information, the better off we're going to be. So our FBI partners are supporting us with both investigative support through people who can interview individuals, crime scene support, video support, and FBI SWAT team is also out here assisting us. BCSO SWAT team is out here, as is state police. So this is a community effort in the metro area. We're all working together. The U.S. Attorney's Office is sending a prosecutor out early so that the the DA's office and the U.S. Attorney's office can work hand in hand with this from the very beginning. We want to make sure we build the strongest case possible. If we have the strongest case on the state side, we will move forward in that direction. If the strongest case is on the federal side, with the big teeth of the federal system, we're going to make sure that we started that from the very beginning. And that's why myself and the DA spoke about that, and the call was made to the U.S. Attorney's office to assist us from the very beginning.
And obviously there's someone outstanding. Is there a risk to the community at this point? Obviously they shot at officers, so what should the community know?
There is a risk to the community. We ask the community if they see something, be a good witness, contact 242 COPS. If it's an emergency, use 911. Give information, get a description where the individual is. Do not try to put yourself in harm's way by getting additional information. We will get resources into the area. We have 2 air support units up. We could get a lot of, the information could be followed up on quickly, so we don't need the public putting themselves in danger. Just get us the information as quickly as possible.
Can you please clarify the radius of the area people should avoid?
They should avoid from Juan Tabo west. I would say that it would be safe to avoid to Eubank from I-40 north, and I think it would be safe to say to avoid till about, we are at Constitution? About Constitution. It could be a little bit bigger than that, but we'll get that additional information out to the media through our Twitter site.
Okay, thank you everybody. We may do something later on at the hospital. We're going to check on the condition of the officers, but we'll let you know.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, you were just updated from Albuquerque Police and, of course, Mayor Tim Keller on the shooting this morning up near the foothills. 4 officers were hurt in this. 3 shot, 1 hurt by glass or shrapnel. They're in the hospital now. I just want to give you some specifics about the officers who were hit. So 1 officer shot in the chest above their vest. They are in critical condition right now. Another shot in the arm. We are told that person is in surgery. Another took a bullet to the center of their vest, and the chief saying the vest saved that officer's life. Another, again, was hurt by shrapnel or glass. So anyone with information is asked to call 242 COPS. We heard the police chief really asking the community to come through to help them with this. You can also upload video tips to a link that the APD is going to post on Twitter. They really need a witness video. If you saw anything, shot any video on your phone, or if you have any information, please post that on that link that they're going to post on the APD Twitter feed, or you can call 242 COPS. So several people are detained in connection to this shooting. It's unclear if they're witnesses or involved. This is a developing situation. Police did tell us they are still searching right now for another suspect. Several agencies working this scene, working this investigation. They include the FBI, Valencia County, BCSO, AFR, and state police. So state police also just confirming they're now taking priority calls for APD because APD is busy trying to find that suspect. Drivers urged to please avoid that area in the foothills. Here's some information for parents right now. So 5 schools in that area are in a shelter in place. That is according to APS. They include Manzano High, Jackson and Kennedy Middle Schools, Tomasita and McCullum Elementary Schools. Again, this is because of all of that police activity. So we did just hear from the mayor, but earlier he tweeted this out saying those officers are getting emergency care after being shot in the line of duty this morning. This happened around 9:30. He went on to say this is a horrific act of violence, and Liz and I join our community in praying for the officers, their families, and the teams working to find the remaining suspect. Again, they are searching for that suspect right now. If you have any information, if you have a tip that will be useful, if you have video that can help in this investigation, please call 242 COPS or upload that video or that tip to a link that APD is going to post right now on their Twitter page. We're going to keep following this developing story. You can get the very latest by downloading the KOAT app or logging onto our website.